You are listening to Inspiring Tribe Talks with Kalpita and Vidya. For latest updates, follow us on Instagram at inspiringtribe.talks.
Today we chat to the British-born Gujarati folk singer. Her debut album was released by T-Series and has since created numerous albums and music videos, which have proven extremely popular, not just in the UK, but they have boomed in Gujarat as well. In 2016, Pritee Varsani was the lead vocalist in the first Gujarati song created in Britain, Rangeeli Raat, which really had been received worldwide so beautifully with so much of love and so much of success.
Pritee is also a director of Red Lotus events with UK-born Kathak dancer Meera Salat, a community interest company of cultural events established to raise cultural awareness by promoting cultural diversity, innovation, traditions, and perspectives through performance. Today, we are very honored and excited to chat with Pritee Varsani. A warm welcome to you, Pritee.
Hello, how's it going?
We're very excited and happy to chat to you today. So first of all, we'd just like to get to know more about you and how you actually got to where you are today. So if we look at Gujarati folk music, it consists of a wide variety, and it's also very rich in culture. Pritee, can you
That's
take
correct.
us through your journey as how you got into folk music?
Sure. So basically, I started when I was, in 2001, I would say, when I actually didn't know much about the whole music scene and so on. And everyone used to just say to me, "Brother, you should just give it a go, and you have got a voice for it and so on." And I had no idea. Especially with the Gujarati scene, I would never have got into the Gujarati scene because I couldn't even speak the language, to be honest with you. Because I've been brought up in a family where my father was East African and my mum was, she's from Kutch, but the Gujarati was very slang at home. And even that, because of my siblings and so on, it was a constant speaking English rather than Gujarati. So my interest was mainly in Bollywood. And when I got the opportunity when I went to the studio and I got the opportunity to take it further, I went to India. I thought, let me at least learn the basics of music and so on. So I went to Bombay. I stayed there for a while, and a friend that I stayed with, she put me in touch with a few well-known celebrities, and then we went to see them and got a chance to sit with them and just share my experience with them and share my voice with them. And they did give me guidance and so on. But it was just once, I would say, and I always go back to this, was there was a program and it was Falguni Patak who was performing. And but she was doing bhajans, and my friend told her that, one of my friends are here from London, and she's a very good singer, so you should give her a chance to basically sing on stage. And I'm not going to lie, there was like 30,000 people there, and I went there and I thought, oh my God, this is all bhajans. I don't even know any bhajans. What am I going to do here? And at that time, Falguni ji, she called me up on stage. And I'm not going to lie, I had heart palpitations. I was thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I was literally so scared. And I went up on stage and I just told her, I said, listen, I can't sing Gujarati. I don't know any bhajans. I am a Bollywood singer. That's what I've learned and that's what I've been listening to and so on. And she said, I've called you up on stage. You're going to have to do something spiritual. Why don't you follow me? I'm going to sing something, just follow me. And I said, okay, fine. And we did that. And she made it very basic, something which was easy for me to just follow. And then she said to me, when this finishes, the whole show finishes, I want to speak to you, so stay behind because I want to talk to you. So I said, okay, fine. Again, I was really, really scared. And so I stayed behind and waited for everyone to kind of like meet her and then go. And then I was like the last person there, and I sat with her, and she said to me, you know what, if you go into the whole Bollywood line, there's hundreds and thousands of people who are literally born daily who are in that scene. And you're competing against literally 100,000 people. And is that the line you want to actually go into? Why don't you look into going and following your own roots and so on? Because this is something that's going to die down after, because everyone's following the whole Bollywood tradition. Everyone wants to go towards that path. Then what will happen to your actual roots, where you've actually come from? Well, that's all going to die down. So why don't you look into getting into that rather than getting into something that it's an undying market anyway. There's always, Bollywood is something that's always going to carry on. So I thought, you know what, she's right. I'm going to try this. So that time I went to Gujarat, and I went um, through my family contact, Lalita Ghodadra, who's a very well-known Gujarati folk singer. My family knew her very well. They, that my dad actually said to her, "My daughter's going to come to India, and I want her to stay with you, and I want you to basically train her." Um, so she was expecting me to be there anyway. So she lives in Rajkot, and I spoke to her and I said, "Okay, I'm going to come now, and this is the route I want to take." I went there, and we were having a lot of communication problems because she spoke Shuddh Gujarati, and with me, my Gujarati, like I said earlier, was really slang, and it was more English rather than Gujarati. So I was struggling. We were both struggling understanding each other. And then she did turn around and say to me, "I'm not going to learn English. You're going to have to learn Gujarati. So, like it or not, you're going to have to do this." Um, and even in that time, like even though Falguniji told me to get into the whole Gujarati roots and Gujarati culture and so on, you can't just find love for it. It's not something that will just happen overnight when you go there, because it's completely different to what you've been listening to. It's completely new to you. And so me going there was just like, even though I was going to recording studios with her and going to shows with her, I was getting so bored. I was actually really disliking that whole experience. And it was just once, I don't know what happened to me. It was Shivratri time, and I remember this day so clearly. So during Shivratri in Junagadh, which is in Gujarat in Saurashtra side, um, Junagadh, they have a 5-day mela, a Shivratri mela, and she asked me. Lalita Ben said to me, "You're gonna come with me there, and it's gonna be literally morning and night, 24/7, even 24 hours a day for 5 days. It's gonna be just constant bhajans." And I literally dropped. I was like, "No, I can't do that. I really cannot do that. I can't be sitting there listening to bhajans that whole time." Because also another thing was I didn't even like the sound of manjiras. It used to give me a headache. And so as soon as I got there, actually, she forced me to go. And as soon as I got there, my slippers broke. So the whole 5 days, I had to walk barefoot. So that was one of my experiences, which I kind of really disliked. And then on the 5th day, when it was actually Shivratri, um, the bhajans, I mean, the thing is, the Santwani bhajans in India, in Gujarat side, I know, start from like 10 o'clock in the evening and they finish at 6, 7 in the morning. So just imagine sitting through that every single day and being right close to the manjiras where they're playing the bells right next to your ears as well. So, but on the actual Shivratri night, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what happened to me. I literally changed from Bollywood to bhajans. It was some kind of enlightenment, I would say, that just happened. And I didn't even want to listen to Bollywood. I mean, I love Bollywood, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Bollywood. But it was more so, oh my gosh, I want to learn more Gujarati stuff. I love this. And the sound of Manjira, which was a headache to me, became a sweet sound for me. And everything about bhajans and about the whole Santwani stage, I grew to, and I absolutely loved it. And now I've kind of like just grown to just love it more and more day to day. So yeah, that's my journey. Sorry, it's a bit long, but yeah.
I think what's so nice is that even when you met Falguni Pathak and your journey began in India, it was not so much about them making you follow trends, but they put you in a position where you were sort of, can I say, in a way you had no choice but to go back to your roots, which sometimes is so difficult when you grow up in a culture or in a country away from that culture. While we are connected to our roots, there's just so much more that you see when you're there. But you said you were not able to speak Gujarati when you began, and you also did not like the sound of the Manjira bell. So what really is it that it took for you from within? So on Shivratri, you had this little revelation and things changed for you. But besides that, what work did it take for you from like, to be able to completely
The fact that I fell in love with the language a lot more as well. And then I started, because she was explaining the bhajans to me and the folk songs to me, because that was all being explained to me. It felt like um, it's so real, I would say. Everything was just amazing, and it's such a spiritual. I feel like I had such a spiritual journey, during my whole musical journey. I mean, I'm still having it, and it's every day I'm learning something new. Like even earlier when I spoke to you about the fact that we're currently making an album at the moment. It's a Brajin one, so it's going back to our roots, and I mean, we can always do something and bring something new and add some, the drums and, octopad or whatever to it and give it that whole Western feel. But the fact that, when you look into the deep side of it, when you listen to the old music, the Ravan Hatha, for example, is one of the instruments that they used back in the days. But when I got to know all of this, that's when I fell in love with it more, and I felt like I want to learn more. And yeah, so every day was just like, whether it was music or whether it was a language or whether it was a culture or whether it was the anything, it was absolutely amazing. So for me, like I said, each day was a learning curve for me.
And when you came back to the UK and
Yeah.
you brought this new side of you, your newfound love for your folk music, what was it like coming into the UK? Because obviously you've done the first Britain or British Gujarati song that you released with Parle Patel. What were some of the challenges you faced along the way, and what was that journey like between releasing your first album with him?
British people, they're very open to outside culture. And us as Gujaratis in the UK are very much in touch with the whole Gujarati roots. But I guess I wasn't, because of where, of how I grew and the people I was around. I wasn't as much in touch with it. But whereas when I started looking out and started meeting new people, I saw that there are people here who actually wanted this, because they love the whole traditional Navratri, they love the whole traditional songs and so on, but it's just not readily available. And the thing is, when you're going to give people constant the same things like Bhangra, and you're going to give them constant Bollywood new stuff, then that's what people are going to grow to. They're going to love that. Naturally, that's what's going to happen. But the moment you give them something that they already know and they're connected to, it gives them a complete different opening. It opens them to a different new challenge, I would say. And that's what I felt with Rangeeli Raat. In the beginning, we felt like, oh no, we're doing this. How will the public take it? How will it all happen? But luckily, at the same time, we organized an event called Rangeeli Gujarat in the UK as well. And that's when we realized that there's so many Gujaratis here who actually love the culture, but are just not in touch with it as much, but they want to learn so much about it. So when we did that track, we saw that everyone was accepting it, which we didn't ever expect. And then going forward, every year it's just been like, what are you guys going to release next? What are you releasing next? We're so looking forward to it.
What were some of your first memories from releasing this album, recording this album, and what were some of the most what were some of the wisdom you took out from
my
that
spiritual
journey?
side, I would say, like I had no spiritual connection. I wasn't even religious. I mean, I still wouldn't call myself religious, but my spiritual side, I would say, just understanding myself, understanding who I am, and everything about believing in yourself. That all came out during this time. If I didn't do that, if I didn't believe in myself, and if I didn't believe in the whole culture, then I wouldn't have done what I've done till today. And I would not even have attempted to even try doing a Prajin song currently. Um, so I would say that's the biggest thing for me, just the fact that I took that step and I went towards my roots, and this is where I am today. And I'm so proud. I'm super proud of it. Definitely. Yeah,
So
100%.
don't be afraid to
Don't
go back to
anyone,
your
whether
roots
it's
no
anyone, because
matter
I
where you
do
are.
see people in my journey who actually, I mean, within the whole music industry, I meet so many people who are either in the Bollywood scene or in the Qawwali scene or any English, who are Western singers and so on. And, we always discuss this side as well, that, because they always say to me, like, how did you, like, why Gujarati? Why did you pick Gujarati out of everything? And it's not something that I would go back to Falguni's story. That's something that was personal to me. Like, that was my awakening, I would say, for her to say that to me. But it was more so of, I had to go there and I had to learn about my roots for me to actually, to love it. If I didn't even pay that attention, if I didn't even go towards that side, then I would still be flying around just, looking for the opportunities in Bollywood. Yeah.
Being in the public eye comes with a lot of pressure because you also become a role model. Obviously,
Yeah.
being an artist, there's a lot of creativity involved, and you have a lot of highs and lows.
Some days you're going to go out and perform and it's not going to be your best of performance, but that's okay. Every performance is a learning curve for you. At the end of the day, sometimes you just got to look at it as, I'm not performing for the public, I'm performing for myself. And you need to be satisfied with what you do and how you perform, because not everyone's going to understand what you did and how you did it, but you're going to be your own critic. And for me, that's what it's always been like. I'm not always been satisfied with my performances, but I don't give up. There's days where I've probably gone really, really bad, and the microphone's not on my side, or the musicians that are with me that are not on my side. They, you have that because you're not always going to perform. You're not always going to have a comfortable performance, but you need to just put your head up and just do it and give it your 100%. And that's it. Just don't fall because someone says something or something happens. Don't ever give up, because you don't want to give up in this journey. If you have a passion, if you love something, that's what you just gotta have your head focused and just gotta do it. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, I guess like any career you take up, you have
That's
to be
awesome.
100%. So it's not
patient.
just with music. It could be with anything, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a singer, whether you're an artist, with anything. Um, you can have bad times or good times and so on, and but you just got to deal with it. And you got to up at it and just take everything as a learning curve.
Yes, yes. And the biggest challenge we've all experienced this year with the COVID pandemic.
Of course.
Um, can you share with us some of the activities you've been doing that's keeping you positive during this
So
period?
I would say I've worked more on myself. I've never had this time to self-develop, and because I've had this time where I'm not practicing for a performance um, or for anything in general, and I'm practicing more so for myself now. So it's given me that whole boost that I need to do more riyaz. I need to try different variations. I need to now get myself a coach and do further training and so on, which is something I never had time for before, because everything took over work wise, and shows or anything would just take over, that you don't actually have the time to do anything that you want to do for yourself. And I felt like it really helped me on my side, where it's still helping me, where I'm able to sit there and I'm just able to practice for myself, and it's a self-satisfaction. Yeah, and I do try sharing certain things online, which um, whatever I randomly wanted to share, I'll share it. Otherwise, currently I'm just working on myself, and then when everything kind of like calms down and things open up, I will come back with a bang. That's what I want to do.
I think this time is really great for everyone to just find
Yeah.
themselves and
100%.
take time
This
for themselves.
people say, oh, Corona has come, it's messed things up. You know what? I think it's come. Yeah, the bad thing is, yes, it's affected many people out there, but we also got to look at the good side to it as well in terms of what it's done for us. People are they're getting to be with their families a lot more, spending time on themselves, and I think that was the most important thing in life. Was we were losing that connection with ourselves because we were so much out there to please others, and now you're doing things for yourself and for your own family and your close ones, which I think is a lot more important, and that's something that we need to just make sure we hold on to going forward.
And Pritee, can you share with us going forward some of the projects that you're working on or future
Sure.
plans?
Yeah. So I'm currently working on 3, I would say, that's coming out this month. 3 songs. So one of them is, of course, the Brajin project, which I'm working with Parle Patel again, and we're working on the roots of the Gujarati culture, their songs and so on. So something completely different to what I've ever done. So that's the authentic music. The music will be very authentic on that. So we're working on that. But then I'm also working with a few producers in India as well, and coming up with something in Gujarati, but something new. That will be something fun. That should release, I think, next week. If I haven't got it wrong, it's most probably next week. And there's another one which is going to be, I don't want to share so much of the third one because I'm not sure in terms of how and where it's going, because it's completely off my comfort zone. So I'm just trying something completely new and completely different. Again, it is a folk song, but it's not a Gujarati folk song. So I've kind of like treaded into a different region now, and so that's something new. That's also in the planning ends as well. So the other 2 is definitely something quite strong for this month.
We look forward to hearing from your new project.
So I would just say to people out there, no matter how far you go, where you go, never give up on your dreams, and don't feel like, okay, I've got to a certain place, now that's it, I've done it, I've achieved it, because no, it's only the beginning for you. You need to keep climbing and climbing and climbing the ladder, and never, like I said earlier, never give up on your dreams. Go out and just do it, fulfill it, and just be happy. Make sure you from inside, from within, are satisfied and happy with what you're doing, and then if you're happy, then others will be happy too.
Can you share your contact details with our listeners?
Sure. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Don't use much of Twitter, but so for Facebook and Instagram, it's Pritee Varsani, which is Pritee Varsani, Varsani. So if you just type that, then you'll just see all my stuff, all the stuff that I'm currently working on or previously worked on, and so on.
That's great. We will definitely share those links on Anchor and on Instagram. Thank you so much for coming and chatting to us. We really appreciate you taking the time out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pritee. It was great.
An absolute pleasure and honor to have you.
You too. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Inspiring Tribe Talks. Remember to favorite us on Anchor, as well as to give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Last but not least, if you would like to collaborate with us or you have any inquiries regarding the podcast, you may email us at contactkpv108@gmail.com.